Q&A lah. Dalam PowerPoint tak ada yang tu.
Thank you for joining us in the Enriching Knowledge Sharing Session Series 1, Series 1, which is organized by the Pejabat Penyelidikan and Inovasi, College of Creative Arts, University of Technology Mara, and co-organized with the CMTHub, the UiTM. I am Nurlela Ismail, and I have the pleasure of serving you as the moderator of today's session. We gathered here to exchange valuable insights, experiences, and expertise, aiming to deepen our understanding and expand our perspectives. I look forward to a fruitful and engaging together as well, a fruitful and engaging session together as we deal into the discussions that await us. Now, we straight to the session. Without further ado, let me introduce our first speaker. We are honored to have with us Yang Berbahagia Professor Dr. Muhammad Kipli Abdul Rahman from the College of Creative Arts, a senior professor in the performing arts. Today, he will be presenting on the topic, the high value culture of Igal. Dipersilakan, Prof.
Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera. Apa khabar? Thank you, Madam Nurlela. Okay. So I'm Kipli. So today's session is about sharing. This is about my research. My research, and this the research, the output of the research has been presented at the Turkey. I think in the May this year. So I'm sharing the presentation that I have presented in that conference. So the title of my research is, can you see? That is my title. High Value Culture of Igal, Mirroring Dakhan 21, Promoting Malaysia MADANI. So actually next, so my focus is research is in the Sempurna Sabah, East Malaysia. Sempurna is actually east coast of Sabah. So the group of study is about the Bajau ethnic. In Sabah, I think there are also Bajau ethnic here. Who are Bajau here from Sempurna? 1, 2. So I'm doing research in the village Sempurna, Kampung Belenggelam, and as well as Kampung Bangau, and Kampung Gelam is in the small island known as Bumbum Island. So I study the Igal. Igal is a ritual performances performed by the ethnic Bajau in Sempurna, Sabah. So the Igal is actually derived from the ritual performances practiced by the Bajau ethnic group, especially in Sempurna, and to cure illness. It is the performance for healing. It's a ritual performance for healing. So it is a form of performing art because it combines dance, singing, music, and acting elements. Because I am from the performing art, so I am doing research on the ritual, and I regard the ritual as a traditional performing art because of the combination of all the elements. So the Bajau ethnic group believe this medicine method is a healing process involving the power of eternal being. So they believe in the metaphysics. So there is also element of where the metaphysical entity goes into the performer's body, and the performers will go into the trance state. So it is a kind of communication between the performer and the eternal being to cure the illness. The illness is caused by the entity from the metaphysical world. And next is, so to be specific, so there are many types of Igal. So my focus is on the Igal Panangsang. So Igal Panangsang, where there is a trance element in the performance. Yeah? So Bajau Laut Pulau Bumbum and the legend of the Arung Salamia. So it is believed that Igal Panangsang was held when a decision was reached collectively by the Bajau Laut community who inhabit the Bumbum Island, especially in the Gelam village. And the panangsang means rangsang or stimulus or excite. When the entity, when the metaphysical entity goes into the performance body, so terangsang, so stimulate. Okay, the energy especially. So because the energy of the performer will be transformed into a different level. Is associated with a supernatural being. And the origin of the panangsang ritual dance performance has been linked to the myth of legend of the Bajau Laut ethnic, namely the legend of Arung Salamia. Arung Salamia is a chosen human being with extraordinary advantages, and during her life she had a close relationship with the marine life, especially stingray. And at the end of her life, her spirit is said to have incarnated into stingray while surrounded by other marine life and known as ombok. Ombok meaning that Arung Salamia, so when she dies, ombok mean the metaphysical entity, because she goes into the metaphysical world. Okay, we leave the our physical world and goes into the metaphysical world. So it is known as ombok. Have you seen a cartoon of Moana? So the grandmother turned into a stingray. It is actually a story of Bajau. So because when you are doing research and you go deep into the philosophy of the community, you feel like you are one of the community. You are one of the community. Okay, next. This is a story about Ram Sulaiman, not so much about that. The Igal ritual theatre is a form of traditional performing arts for healing. So there is an element which is called tulah, okay, or condemnation. So it is believed that tulah can occur among the people who violate the orders and commands of the king or sultan, and the supernatural when one commit evil deeds or violated the rules. Yeah? So panangsang means stimulate or stimulating or stimulated is all connected to the supernatural power, and the performance to dance the music. Then as a ritual theatre, panangsang is formed by elements of the performance. You see the dance, music and song, mantra, performer, props and set, acting. So it become a ritual theatre Igal panangsang. So the ritual theatre Igal panangsang will happen when the kalamat. Kalamat is the shaman or bomoh in the Peninsular Malaysia, known as bomoh, but for the Bajau ethnic they call it kalamat or shaman. The people who has a supernatural power that can communicate with the metaphysical entity, and they can call the ombok, which is actually Arung Salamia. And a shaman who can connect with metaphysical entities, and the entity is the spirit of the ancestors referred to the Arung Salamia. Okay, and then this is the theory that I applied how to study the these performances is a healing process. So there is an element of communitas and liminality introduced by Schechner. Schechner is the Schechner and Victor Turner. They are the scholars who introduced the theory of social theatre or ritual theatre. Okay, so there is an element of communitas and liminality in the performances. So you can see the diagram here. So ritual theatre Igal panangsang. So Schechner introduced that there will be a bridge of normative social relation in the community. There will be a bridge and between the person or a group in the same social group, but not limited to the social group. Social group mean we are in the physical world as well as in the metaphysical world. Okay, and then it become conflict, the tulah. The conflict happen in the community. They call it tulah. So now the conflict between physical world and the metaphysical world entity, and then the crisis will happen, and the bridge spreads to all the social, and when the person get tulah, and the person will get sick, and the crisis will happen. So the whole community will feel that, oh, actually we have to ask forgiveness from the metaphysical entity, because one of our community member is getting sick. So dikata terkena tulah. So terkena tulah. And then Shaikna suggests redressive action. This is the suggestion for how to stop the breach, the crisis. Okay, how to stop, and we have to see the shaman, the head of the community, to cure the illnesses. So I add here the role of shaman. So the role of shaman will go into the liminal stage, or we call it liminal stage is where we go into the other dimensions of the, we call it altered state of consciousness. And the stage is where you go into the maybe ecstasy. After ecstasy, we go into the trance. After the trance, we go into the transposition. Now, this transposition where the metaphysical entity embodied the performer's body, and the consciousness of the performer is no longer normal. So we call it liminal state. Okay, liminal state. And then when the performer or the community goes into the liminal state, that is where the communitas happen. Because the communitas is the concept of unstructured community experiences in which all members have the same social status. When we are in trance state, all are the same. We are all equal. There is no social status. So that is why the kalamat will communicate with the metaphysical entity to ask forgiveness, so that the patient can be cured. So after the process of liminality and communitas, so it is the well-being of the community, reintegration of society, recognition of imperability. So Turners 1975. And then so this study focuses on the concept of high value culture, which goes in hand with the thrust of National Culture Policy, Deccan 21, and Malaysia MADANI. This is another framework. Okay, this is another framework. So this is Dr. Sharul. This is our informant, Makcik Intan, but she's from Bangau, Kampung Bangau. She is the recipient of Anugerah Warisan Orang Hidup by the UNESCO, because she is the master of the Igal ritual. Talk about the dasar kebudayaan kebangsaan. There are 10 shared values support a high value culture, budaya nilai tinggi. Ya. So there are 3 pillars: emphasis on the ethics, procedure, and level of intellectuality. So kita orang sini kena bijak gitu. Level of intellectuality. So about ethics and also the procedure, tata kelola. Okay, so it's about spirituality, goodness, consensus, glory, equality, well-being, loyalty, honesty, beauty, and cleanliness. And I found all those elements actually exist in the ritual performances of Igal Panangsang. So I will describe later. And also it is aligned with the Malaysia MADANI concept. So there are 6 pillars in the Malaysia MADANI: sustainability, prosperity, innovation, respect, and trust, and care and compassion. So Madani means progressing in terms of thought, spirituality, material things, not society in general, and effort to shape culture. So Malaysia Madani concept is introduced by our Prime Minister, Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. Where is the direction of our nation to go? Where do we go? So this is our direction. So the primary purpose of the Malaysia MADANI is to re-dignify the country's governance and administration. Remember just now, tata kelola. Strategy more effectively by focusing on economic culture empowerment based on values, ethics and moral. This is high value culture. So Igal ritual theatre. So it's performed to heal the disease known as tulah, condemnation. And tulah occurs when a person does bad things such as disrespecting both parents, disrespect others, disrespect eternal being by disturbing their dwellings, breaking taboos in society, harassing or hurting others, accusing others of doing evil without solid evidence. This is about ethics, procedure, and level of intellectuality. And Igal ritual theatre performance is a healing process to identify the type of disease experienced by the patient, identify the cause of the disease, identify the type of subtle beings that bother the patient, what entity element that gets into the patient body that cause illness, and suggest the appropriate medicine for healing. Then after the performance done, and then the kalamat will suggest the medicine. Okay. And then I only focus on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements of Igal. Only 6 elements. There are a lot of elements. Just now we have music and etc. And we can also go into the detail of the elements. But my focus is only on the 6 elements. So spirituality, tulah, kalamat, offering, audience, function. So the Igal ritual theatre performance is when the decision has made, reached collectively by the Bajau Loud Ethnic Group. Kalamat will act as the leader or steer the performances. So this is photo. This is the types of Igal. This is the offering, musician, and then the offerings. This is the kalamat dance. This is the mayang pinang, the very important offerings to call the metaphysical entity to come down to earth and heal the patient. Okay, so the offering is very important. The offering is like a code, a Da Vinci code, to call the eternal being to come down. So we have to simulate, and we do a simulation. The simulation is actually the experience that is the same experience experienced by the eternal body in the world, in the metaphysical world. So we do a simulation so that they can come down. So we call it quantum tunneling, but that is another story. If you study physics, you know about the quantum tunneling. So the code is about, there is a tunneling where the eternal being can goes into the physical world and goes into the performance body. Okay. So about the spirituality, so this is the dramatic structure introduced by Aristotle. This is very common among the theatre students and theatre practitioners. Okay, this is the we call the performance dramatic structure and the performance spiritual journey experienced by the kalamat and the patient, because they goes into the trance. The entity, the eternal being goes into the body during the process to achieve their mind well-being. Okay, after the performance done. So Igal, there are many Igal: Igal Libayan, Igal Tabawan, Igal Lelang. But they have to perform all these 3 Igals, and then these 3 Igal becomes Igal Panangsang. Igal Panangsang mean when the kalamat and the patient will be embodied by the ethereal being, supernatural power goes into the body. So we call it communitas and liminality. So they goes into that state. So I said it start from the mantlak, preparation of the offering by the kalamat with mantra recitation, and then tagungu is the music performances, the song played by the musician, and then start with the igalibayan, igalela, igal tabawan, panangsang is the climax. So there is a conflict here between igalibayan, igalela. This is different types of supernatural being that goes into the performance body. So they communicate how to cure the illnesses of the patient. So they communicate to each other in their own language. So and then the climax, and then the resolution, where the resolution of tulah, where they find the medicine to cure the patient, will be explained by the kalamat after the performance is done. Okay, after the performance is done. So it is like a spiritual journey by the performer to cure the illness. And then spirituality is about, okay, the benefit of spirituality is enjoy spiritual happiness and peace of mind. This is experienced by the performer after the performance. And strengthening relationship with others, the whole community will get involved in the performance to make sure that the patient will be cured, because the crisis now happen in the whole community of the village. And then have compassion and empathy for others, meaning that they come, okay, to make sure that, okay, my neighbor will get cured. So the whole community, we call it here communal healing, where all the community get involved in the ritual process or healing process to make sure kemenjadian ubat, in bahasa Melayu, to make sure that the patient will be cured, because the patient is actually one of our community members. And then appreciate the feeling of interconnectedness between humans and environment. The offering, you must take the offering from the environment, just now Mayang Pinang. If you don't have Mayang Pinang, the supernatural power will not come down, because that is the main code. When you want to call the supernatural being to come down to the earth, we have the Mayang Pinang. That is the main offering. And then followed by the pulut, followed by the kuih panyaram, etc. That is called a code. So the benefit of the performance through the spiritual experience is being able, number one, number two, audience, close relationship, and then foster sense of interconnectedness and the existence of the embok and the embodiment of marine life, also foster mutual respect and maintain ecological well-being in the community, because Arong Salimia turned into a stingray. So it is how our connectedness with the environment. So for the environmental well-being, this is introduced in the Dakan in the Malaysia Madani concept. Our relationship between environment and our relationship between metaphysical entity. And then another element of Igal just now is spirituality, is Tulah. So the concept of Tulah forms the Bajau ethnic thought pattern of not doing bad things to fellow creatures, whether in physical or metaphysical world. And the 10 elements of high value culture, Dakan, reflect a spiritual aspect that emphasize awareness of the values in humans that balance physical and mental life to build perfect human qualities. And the beauty, you create art, the performing art, you create the beauty. When the kalamat goes into the trance, that is the highest beauty, meaning that you are blessed by the supernatural power, and the supernatural power will cure the illness. That is the beauty of the art. So it is about the beauty. It's a God creation, inspired all forms of artwork, music, dance, scenography, everything is in there. Become one code to call the supernatural power to come down to earth and cure the patient. So that is the main purpose of for healing. The main purpose of the ritual performances is for healing. So this is the purpose, the function. And then in the Malaysia Madani, the element of trust. The uphold the pillar of trust, a belief closely, because you have to have a belief in the supernatural being. If you don't have belief in the supernatural being, the supernatural will not come down. You must have trust and faith. Kita sembahyang lah kena khusyuk tawaduk. It's the same. Okay, it's the same. And then the other element is the kalamat. Kalamat is play a role in society and as a traditional healer, leader, ceremonial leader, mediator, healer, teacher, and reference expert. So that's the role of kalamat. So it is mirror the concept of honor, honesty, loyalty, and virtue in the high value culture. I don't need to read because I have to make sure the time is almost okay. Okay. So, and honest, loyal, and virtuous, and promote the aspect of courtesy, respect, and creativity in the Malaysia Madani. So the kalamat is to have a courtesy, get respected from the community, and also have to be creative to create the art. So it is promote the Malaysia Madani and mirror the elements of Dakan. And then the element of offerings, ni sajian-sajian, so it mirror cleanliness, respect, Cleanliness refers to pure practice and a well-maintained, beautiful, organized and systematic environmental that creates a harmonious and calm atmosphere. Bau-bau, wangi. You must arrange the offering in such a way so that the supernatural being will come down. And the supernatural being will feel respected, and it is about the cleanliness as well. If it is not clean, the supernatural being will not come down. So you have to be clean everything, the offerings, so that the supernatural will come down and promote the aspect of respect in Malaysia Madani, because you have to be like a Kalamat, because Kalamat got respected from the community. You have to be like Kalamat because it's practice cleanliness. This is how it is mirror and it's promote Malaysia Madani. And then element of audience, this is very important, also play a vital role. Healing process, Igal is also known as communal healing, which means that healing occurs with the involvement of all community members, and it's mirror the concept of consensus, kindness or buddhi and equality in the Dakhan 21, and also promote uphold the pillar of believing or trust, closely related to trust, a pledge of moral responsibility in the world and afterlife. So the audience plays very important role to make sure that the patient will be cured. Kemenjadian ubat, call it communal healing. And then spirituality plays a role in changing the social and cultural status of Igal ritual theatre. Communitas that we have I just explained just now. So the healing aspect in Igal is also categorized as faith healing. You have to have a belief, otherwise the patient will not be cured because the supernatural power is not coming down. Okay, and spiritual loyalty demands loyalty, steadfastness, trust and obedience, not contradicting and breaking instruction, because when you kena tolak, meaning that you have melanggar pantang and you have to buat baik. To introduce baik, then you have to have a connection with the spiritual being to ask forgiveness. And then it's promote uphold the pillar of integrity and believing, well-being, emphasize the balance of physical and metaphysical cosmos. You know, the connection between physical and metaphysical world, and believing is closely related to trust and moral responsibility in the world and the hereafter. Okay, and then this is the summary. In the traditional context, Igal ritual theatre serves healing purposes and carries religious, educational, social interaction and entertainment functions. So element of Igal, itulah Kalamat offering, audience spiritual function, mirror 10 high value culture in Dakhan, and promote 6 main pillars of Malaysia Madani, and it aims is improving the quality of life for the well-being of the community. See, this is the idea that it's promoted by the Malaysia Madani and the Dakhan 21. So I will conclude that. So the study conclusion succeeded in disseminating the high value culture, which is reflected through several elements of Igal ritual theatre, and is in the line with Dakhan 21 as desired in the concept of Malaysia Madani. So Igal ritual theatre serves healing purposes and carries religious, educational, social interaction and entertainment function. Indeed, all those functions reflect the 10 characteristics of high value cultural values in Dakhan 21 and uphold the 6 main pillars of Malaysia Madani, and the ultimate goal is to improve the quality of life for the community's well-being, which is also introduced by the UNESCO about sustainable development goal, SDG. That is another story, because I applied also the framework of SDG in looking at the ritual performances. Terima kasih, thank you. I pass it to Madam Nurlela.
Thank you very much, Prof. Prof, can we change the sequence of
Yeah, can. A question and answer. Okay. Yes, please.
Straight away have the session, Q&A session. Probably we have questions from the floor, especially from our international students. Maybe you have something. Najwa is from Brunei, and this handsome guy is also which country again?
Austria.
From Austria. Good.
China.
You guys from China.
China,
Maybe
okay.
have questions?
Yes,
Because
please.
This is very culturally specific for
Yeah.
the Malaysian community.
And I always get emotional when I'm talking about the research that I'm doing, especially in the the ritual performances. because once you are a researcher, you will really involved with the community that you are studying on, and you will feel the same way they feel. Yeah, ada
I
soalan?
think probably they are thinking maybe they have questions maybe later. They are probably still constructing the question for you.
Okay.
But I have a question for you, Prof.
Yes, what?
I know that you are very, in a way, closely related to the subject matter of your research.
Yeah.
And then I can see that you are quite theory, and so we would like to know, sorry to dig up your memories. So,
No, it's okay.
we would like to know that you are very passionate in what you're doing. So maybe you can share a bit more that why is it the subject matter or the topic of the research is very close to you, and probably it has something to do with your memory or probably your background. Maybe you can share something with us.
Because once you want to become a researcher, I understand that you are doing master and PhD and you are doing research. Because once you want to do a research, the first one is the object of study. What object of study that interests you? You must pick the thing that is very interests you. Even I'm not Bajau and I'm from Perak, I don't know about Bajau ethnic in the first place, but I love to do research on the ritual performances, because I look at the ritual performances as a kind of performing art, because I love to dance, I love to play traditional music, so I love acting. So actually I can learn acting technique and dance technique from the community that I studied on. So when I study the community, I study the ritual performances, because there are elements of performing art. So once you do research on something that is interests you, you must go into deep, because you want to collect the data. You have to say the truth. Once you have to say the truth, you must say the truth about the community that you're studying on. That is why before you submit your thesis, you must get consent from the informant that you are studying on, that you interview. Okay, is this correct what I write here? Because I want to submit to the institution to validate and verify this research. I make sure that the consent from you that this data is correct. Because as ethnographer, we are doing qualitative research, ethnography research. The triangulation is from the researcher. You know, how to validate the data, how to verify the data is not other people, it's you, it's me. So what I'm talking now is the truth. No one can question. So that is why when you really go, that's why I was like, I'm very emotional, because I know the story. So this is the issue, even though I not because
What's the story about actually?
Actually, it's about Arong Salamia. It's about Arong Salamia. You know, the woman actually until now the community still believe that how to cure the patient. If you want to cure these illnesses, meaning that this is our legend. But the new generation, they do not know. Even I think, because I'm not from Sabah, but I study and I know about this history, and it is our heritage that we have to keep and do research on. And they don't know, and now they know, and they will appreciate, because there are not many people, and not only Makcik Intan and other old people that still practice. But people in Sampurna, they go to the hospital, they don't go to the Kalamat. Only certain people like Bajau Laut people who live in the Laut, they don't have the identity card. No, this is the community that I study on. Some of them, they don't have the identity card. They are not Malaysian, they are not Indonesian, they are not Filipinos, but they are the children of earth. They live in the ocean, so they don't have the card. But look at their artwork. So their artwork mirror the 10 values introduced by Dakan 21 and the 6 trusts introduced by the Malaysian MADANI. So this is
the essence of being, if you want to be a researcher, you have to be passionate.
Yes, you have the passion. Otherwise, no. Yes, you have to be you have to have passion.
Among the audience, we have our students from Sabah.
From Gelam Island. I've been there.
You have to ask them whether they know about this
Tahu tak?
legend or not.
Arong Salamia.
Si tak tahu, even the Bajau people, the Arong Salamiah. Because when I study Arong Salamiah and the Bajau people, and then when I watch the Moana, I say, hey, how come Western people knows about this history and they create an artwork transform into animation? We can also, but we have to have research. They have researches long ago. That is why they come up with, okay, I have to make it worldwide. And then we learn from the Moana. But actually, I didn't watch Moana first. I went to the community and I said, wow, there is a similarity. And there is also the similarity between the Bajau Latin ethnic and the orang asli Pulau Selatan and Johor. They are actually related. Because they believe in the Dewa of Laut. Dewa Laut. Kehidupan laut. Macam tu. Ya, Dr. Nomad, dia banyak nanti tak sempat ni.
I'm just curious. Mind Putri also
The same.
is a kind of
Yeah.
performance that is used to heal.
Yes.
For the purpose of healing.
Yes.
and cure.
Main Petri, Mak Yo.
Is there any like similarities between Mind Putri and Igal?
Yes, there are similarities, but only the code is slightly different. The code mean the offerings, still it is offering, but the offering slightly different. But untuk Bajau, for the Bajau ethnic, they use Mayang Pinang, and the Main Putri, they don't have Mayang Pinang. Maybe they have another environmental things that can be used as a code. So I call it code. I call it visual code, audio code, and then you gesture. So the movement is different. The Egalelang, Tabawan. So it is embodied the animals. So animal entity that goes into the performer's body. So Main Petri is another entity. But same, the performer will go into the trance to cure the illness. The same goes with the Main Petri. Because the metaphysical entities, their number is more than us, and they live longer. So there are a lot. If we are in the physical world, maybe how many billion? There are more. Jin semua ni dah lama. 100,000 over years. Kalau iblis tu sampai kiamat. So that they call the entity to cure the illness.
Okay, thank you, Prof, for the enlightening session. That's the wrap for our first topic.
Okay, thank you. If you have any other question, feel free to, you can discuss after the session, yeah.
Okay, for our second speaker, we have Encik Abdul Walid Ali, who is also lecturer in performing arts from the College of Creative Arts. Encik Walid will talk about performing Melanau tradition and contemporaneity. You persilakan.
From Sarawak, yeah. Still is Malaysia. Lupa bagi dekat ni. Terima kasih.
Tak mana ni?
Letak dekat sini.
Sini ke?
Boleh.
Boleh ya? Boleh dengar? Boleh? Oh. Okay, boleh. Alright, boleh present lah. First slide. Alright, a very good evening to everybody who is who attending my presentation today. So my name is Walid Ali from Performing Arts Studies, College of Creative Arts. So my research will be about performing Melanau tradition and contemporaneity. So if you can see over there, a person who is doing that movements, it is me actually. I'm doing that on Handa Noh Theatre stage. So this one is the one that I perform in the UK before this. So next, alright, special thanks to people who helped me in this research. Kursi Nusantara, Institut Pengajian Borneo, College of Creative Arts, Fakar Unimas 80, Benedict Peter, Leonard Darimi, Edwin Kusai, Hadruji and Catherine Anyum. Right, next. So this is the researchers that involved with my research today. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them doing research with me regarding Melanau people. The next. So Melanau is a people of Sarawak. So there are two types of Melanau: Melanau coastal and Melanau Kajang or Melanau upriver. So most people will talk about Melanau coastal, and there are some Melanau upriver or Melanau Kajang, we call them. Right, next. So I will present to you Serahangkakan and Melanau Segomas. It is very important because this one is the most important performance or performing arts done by the Melanau people every year, and every year the Melanau will come here and celebrate it with other Melanau around the world. Alright, next. So Kaul, what is Kaul? Kaul is Melanau People Festival. Right, next. So I'm doing about Serahangkakan. What is Serahangkakan? Serahangkakan is a ritual activity of handing over the serang to Ipok, sign of the beginning of Kaul. So if you can see over there, Ipok means Dewa or God. So there is entity that we cannot see, but a very powerful entity who control everything around the world. So we call it Ipok in Melanau culture. Right, next. The purpose of the Kaul is to balance the cosmos and reality. Right, if you can see over there, the idea of doing the Kaul is to give thanks to Ipok and to do the village cleansing. In the past, there are Melanau who died because of they are not what we call that, because Melanau is people who live in the river, so they are not really doing well with the river. So they believe that Ipok will get angry, and then if they want to use the river after this, they need to do some ritual, and the ritual we call it Serahangkakan, and Serahangkakan done in Kaul festival. Right, next. So Kaul will be done in Pengejin month. Pengejin means the first month of Melanau calendar. It is somewhere in April or May in what we call that modern calendar. So why done in the first? Why the Kaul is done in the first calendar and why they call it Pengejin? This is because when the Melanau doing it, the first month must be the first month of festive. So usually in April, in May is the month after the monsoon. Okay, next. Process to the serang. There are 3 types of process to the serang: informing of the bekaul, and then preparation of the bekaul, and delivery of the serang. So the first part will be canang beradat. To inform the kaul will start soon to people using boat and walk around the village. Nobody can make fun of the tukang gual. If you make fun of them, you will get some kind of tulah, the same ideas, some kind of tulah, and the Ipok will get angry, and you need to pay some sum of money to the community. Right? Preparation of a kaul, mask making, sarahang, music, martial arts, foods, and bringing sahang to Ulo Kaul's house. The second part. And the last part will be delivery of the serahang. Serahangkakan will be done and Pesta Kaul will start soon. Alright, next. The beginning of the serang will be done using tibau. So if you can see over there, there's call that a very big monument where the Melanau will climb at the tibau to play with the tibau, and they will swing at the tibau. The idea of the tibau is a symbol of the beginning of the cow. This is the first part that the Melanau will be done to celebrate the Serangkakan, and built by long woods in a pyramid shape. Green peas porridge will be served to the audience members. It must be green peach porridge. It cannot be something else. I will tell you why after this. There is a mantra for the event. And when they're doing the swing at the tibau, they will have the mantra. Right, next. Serhangkakan is a village cleansing ritual, and Festakau is activity or festival to gather the Melanau. And next. What we have in Sube. Okay, now if you can see over there, this is the sarhang that I call that they call the sarhang. Sarhang is a gift that they present to the Ipoh. So in this sarhang, they will have 6 subek. Subek means pellet. They have plates of foods over there. There are 6 things over there. There is a plate of nasi pulut kuning or pulut putih, a plate of berteh, a plate of kirai cigarette, 7. If you cannot find the kirai cigarette, you can find 7 apong leaves, or what we call that, belen. Belen means 7 sirih pinang. Belen sirih pinang. And then number 4, a plate of kuih penyaram, alright, and then a plate of paeh, kelupis, a plate of local salt, a plate of sago. If you can see over there 7, it must be in 7 numbers. 7 means 7, 7, 7, 7. Okay, we see after this the 7th thing. Right, next. So this is the first thing that we done to bring the sarhang that to tell the people that Serhangkakan will be done soon. The Kaul festival will be starting soon. This is happening night before the event, or nights before 2 or 3 days before the event. So this one, the Bacanang people, they will do the canang beating around in the river of Muka. So they will do the canang and tell people that okay, Serhang or Kaul will be done somewhere in first month of this year or 25th of April, something like that. They will keep telling this until the end of the village. Right, next. So before the Kaul done, they will start with the preparation of the Kaul festival. They will have the music training. They will have the tilip weaving, and they will have the sape, or we call it silat here, or kuntau in Borneo. So they will have this kind of training before the festival start. Right, next. So this one is delivery of the serahang. So the serahang is done by the maker. The maker must be a woman, and the one that make this is the Catherine Anyum, the one that I interviewed before. After she done this thing, this group of people will bring this to the Ulo Kaul's house. The Ulo Kauls is the leader of the Kaul. Now is Salman Tuna, and they bring this using boat on the river. Right, next. So they have 7 types of the tilip. You see, 7, 7, 7. 7 types of a burung. One of them is itik iyang, manuk titiap, and each with each corner. 7 types of the tilip: murai pinang, murai benyoh, jekan, kerih, bunga tapasir, isiang geguyo or sipai. If you can see over there, I will talk about the burung. Why itik iyang? Itik iyang is a black duck. Black duck that is not a duck from what we call it, from the world. It is duck from the other world. Means the duck is not from this world. It is the Ipoh's duck. It's his pet, not this human thing. So they put one itik iyang at the center of the, if you can see that, of the we call that serhang. They have 6 pillars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The one at the center is the itik iyang, and they must give the itik iyang back to the Ipoh. Yeah, so that's the idea of the giving back the Serhangkakan. Alright, so next. So this is done in the day of the festival of the Serhangkakan. So from Sungai Telian to Tugik Kaladana. So actually, this is the last one done for Kaul. The first one done in Klit, Sungai Klit, somewhere in January. This is the last one. They're done in what we call that, Tugik Kaladana in Muka. So the first one is in Dalat, and then the last one they done in Tugik Kaladana. So this is a very long festival. It is like 5 months kind of festival for Melanau people. So the last one is this festival. All right. So in this festival, they will have a pair of mass performer. All right. And then mass musician, Kaul Adat committee at the main boat, right? And live by perahu berhias at Sungai Telian, and performance at the beach by Serahang, Berkaul, and other activities. Okay, next. So if you can see over here, this is the end of the festival, and it is very interesting because you cannot bring any kind of meat to the festival, because if you bring any kind of meat, they believe that the Ipoh will get angry and they will eat people, because the Ipoh doesn't want the meat. The Ipoh just want people to enjoy or celebrate the thing. Right, next. So if you can see over here, it's a very long kind of journey from the river, from the village, until going to the Mukah Pasar, and then the last one next. The last one is at the, what call that, at the Pantai Kaladana. Alright, so I'm talking about mask making right now. Mask making process. The mask making process is done by looking at the best mask from Sego Trang, not more than a week, and then bring it out of the woods. Mask carving will be starting from the face and the left of the side, and of the mouth. The spirit have the ability to talk if we carve the mouth whole. Will not make holes for eyes and mouth, because it is believed that the mask will alive if we make the hole. And Tebu code is Sirih mantra, keep the mask in 3 days before throwing it away. Alright, now we are talking about mask carving here. In this kind of festival, in this kind of ritual, they will have mask performer on the first boat, on the main boat. Okay, and on this main boat, the performer is the one who use the mask that is carved the eye. They make hole for the eyes and they make holes for the mouth, because it is believed that if they make it, that means there's kind of, what call that, a key for other world. So this means the one who use the mask is the only one who can interact with other world. So that's why for other performer who wants to use the mask, they cannot make any holes on the mask, because they believe if they make holes for the eye, the mask can see you. If they make holes to the mouth, the mask can talk to you. So that's why they make it last, because they don't want the mask to talk bad to the person who carved the mask. Alright, next. Mask function in the past is to control the ritual and make the children behave because they're scared. In the past, the mask they decorated it very, very fiercely, and then today it is for masquerade. Right? Must have a couple of masks, and one of them must be done using a sago tree. At least one of them done by sago tree. Sometimes they make it 2, sometimes they make it 1, but at least one of them must be done by sago tree. Right, next. So serangkakan is practically serangkakan is to gather people and adapting new functions, cultural preservation. This is 3 things that we're looking at Melanau people, because right now it is still done from the beginning and still done right now, and being parts of very important festival in Sarawak. Okay, next. So serangkakan for religion people, it is accepted in Mukah. but we are having problem with extremists for Muslim and extremists for Christianity, because for Muslim they believe this is something that bad for the religion, and also for the Christian they believe this is bad for the religion. So for extremists they are not accepting this, and tourism attraction, this why the tourism attraction for this festival is not really promoted, because they don't want to make any other problems for the extremists. All right. And cultural preservation as a part of art, a place for people to meet, a kaul in Muka. All right, next. So we are talking about Malay and modernity right now, Melanau and modernity right now. Islam is Malay, all right. However, there are some misunderstanding in Borneo, in Sarawak and Sabah. They believe in the past that Malay is Islam. So that's why most of the aborigines in Borneo, they change their ethnic to Malay because they believe Malay is a religion. So that's the problem in the past. So that's why in 1970s, 1980s, Banci, they have problem with the ethnic group, because they are this kind of group. For example, they are Bajau, but they put their name as a Malay on their IC. So that's happened in the past. And Dayak is the upriver. So Melanau is a kingdom before Brunei. So before they lost to Brunei, there's one big kingdom, there's a Melanau kingdom, and they also problem with Dayak people, because Dayak means upriver, and people don't want to associate with upriver because there is some sentiment they're calling upriver is people who is not going advanced, because they are not they don't have the access to modern world. So there are problem with that. So that's another thing. And more Melanau lost their language and practices. So some of Melanau, they lost the language and practices. Seru Melanau, Kanawit Melanau, and Beliun Melanau. There are three Melanau over there has lost their language and practices, because, for example, Seru and Beliun, Seru they are becoming Malay in Kabong, and Beliun they are becoming Malay in Sarike, and Kanawit they are becoming Iban in Kanawit. So they are having problem with this also. And accepting performing arts as a cultural practices. However, there are good news for Melanau people, because the Melanau still performing kaul and performing serangkakan, even though they are still practicing other religion. So this what modernity happens to Melanau. Right, next. So these are list of my latest project and ongoing research and community project with my research team, and one of them is closing right now. The Melanau Thought House and also Interpretasi Alamistik is closing, and also Kamus Melanau is also closing. We are hoping that we can close the Kamus Melanau soon, next year. Alright, so thank you, and next slide. Right, thank you. And if you want to ask me, you can ask me, or you can ask Institute of Pengajian Borneo, because most of my project is over there. Right, cool. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Encik Walid. So probably we have questions from the floor. Yes.
Hello, Encik Walid. I'm Nadia from music. I did my PhD in Melanau music 10 years ago. So, Mr. Slamatuna was one of my informants. So I would like to know, because I did that a long time ago, more than 10 years ago, but looking at what you showed too, I think it's not much changes in terms of, especially during Kaul Festival, where they have the boat procession and all that. But you mentioned about, I think the issue about religion, Malay and all that. Yeah, I think it started like a long time ago where, you know, even Melanau, they divided themselves into three: Malay, Melanau, or Melayu Melanau. Okay? Because they don't know which one they want to choose, so some of them represent themselves as Melayu Melanau. So I'm just wondering, because you were saying about, you know, religion issue and all, how it is now in terms of the participation of this kaul among the local themselves. I mean, do the Islam, the Muslim Melanau, the youngsters, are they like into this, or they are just like okay? Because even Mr. Slaman who is a Christian, kan? So how is it now in terms of last time? I think it was quite open, but maybe lately things have changed. So I would like to know whether there are changes in terms of acceptance among the local Melanau themselves.
Right, the acceptance is becoming better right now because of the social media itself. People who joining the kaul will be part of the community, will be part of the event, and thanks to Gen Z, because they are FOMO. So if you're not coming to this kind of thing, you lost a lot of things. So fear of missing out. So you're missing out if you're not coming to kaul. So because of this kind of agenda, and another thing is because right now the emerging of what we call that originality or authenticity. Sorry, the emerging of authenticity happening right now means people who has their value or culture in the past, they want to show their culture more to other outside the world, compared to in the past where they don't want to share it because they feel ashamed of their culture and something like that. But now more people wanted to share their culture, and that's another thing that make this event becoming more happening. And another thing is, it is, I think in past 2 years they put it in Sarawak what we call it calendar. So now it's becoming a Sarawak event. Compared to just for Melanau people. Yeah. So to answer the question, it is becoming better right now. However, we are having problem because Salman is the last person who done this thing, and he doesn't want to continue it since he is a shaman, and the problem with the shaman is he will meet the other creature, and that's why he told people that he doesn't want to marry. He doesn't want to have what we call it kids, because he doesn't want to have a kid. That's the whole story. And however, the leader, the Melanau leader over there now is called it daughter of Taib Mahmud, Hanifah. Hanifah said we need to continue this because there is part of our culture. So even after Salman not wanted to continue this, the Melanau in Mukkah, they have the community who wanted to continue the practices. However, it is not more to ritual anymore. It is more to performing art and preserving the art itself. Yeah.
From the floor, maybe.
And if you can see over there, we have the Itik Iyang that I said to you before. Itik Iyang is the one that is from the spirit that will bring bad luck for people actually, and they have to give it back to the Ipoh every year. So every year the Melanau believe that Itik Iyang is coming to the Melanau community and giving problem for the Melanau community. Yeah, so they have to bring it back to Ipoh.
But interestingly, because the Melanau people cannot see the images of Ipoh.
Yeah.
But they know about Itik Iyang. Itik is dark, right?
Yeah, dark.
The path to Ipoh.
Yeah, yeah.
In black color.
Yeah.
Through historical depiction, is it?
Yes.
Itik?
Yeah, Itik.
So is there any questions from the floor? For Encik Walid? I'm sorry, Encik Walid, you are, sorry.
Yes.
I've known you for quite a while, but are you a Melanau?
Huh?
Are you a Melanau?
Yeah.
Okay, is there any questions from the floor? Otherwise, we can go to the next session with Dr. Phang. That's all. Thank you very much, Encik Walid.
Thank you. All right.
I think probably berikan tepuk tangan untuk Encik Walid.
be here. No, she's not. I thought that Dr. Sharifah will be here. Okay, never mind. Thank you very much for asking me to share this, to do this sharing session with you. Basically, this is something that I did for my PhD study, and also is part of the journey that I had in last May when I visit China, when they invited me and asked me to do a cultural exchange kind of program with them. So I was invited to Hunan University and an association there, Performing Arts Association in Loti. Loti is a city that the university is located. Okay, so first day on the 26th. So for the first part, I'm going to share with you some of the days that how I spend in China and how I conduct some of the things in China as well. So the first part is more leisure, is nothing interesting, but it's just like to share with you what's going on there. So on the 26th of May, right, I took a night flight to Guangzhou. Then from Guangzhou, I transit to Changsha. Changsha is the closest town to Lodi. Okay, so I was given the sponsored and to go there with this route. So the whole night I was on the plane, and the first day when I received Changsha, and I was picked up by the organizer, and then it took me about an hour and a half to go to the city Lodi. So this is where the university is. In Chinese, it's called Wubei Renwen Keji Xueyuan. So in English, it's called Hunan University of Humanity, Science and Technology. That is the front part of the school. And for the first day, it's very nice because they know that I didn't sleep well last night. They give me a day rest. So it's like, okay, you take your time to do whatever, you walk around the town, and we are going to pick you up to show you our university, and also to bring you around the university as well, to look at the neighborhood. So basically this university is the only university in Lodi. Lodi, I would say that it's not a big town. It's almost like an Ipoh, but with a lot of buildings lah, you know, that the size is like an Ipoh, but it's a lot of high buildings as well. So I was told that Lodi was a poor town 20 years ago, but now it's highly developed and it has a few universities there, and this is the main university with a few technical schools as well. So this program that I get to know this university is because one of my PhD students and came here to study, and they say they don't have PhD and master's program, they just have a bachelor. So it's a very good, I think that it's a very good opportunity to go there to promote our program, if perhaps there are more students to come in to join our program as well. So on this side, on your left, is the building that hosts the music department. So you see they have like the whole building for it, 6th floor of music and dance as well. Usually in China, they will have music and dance together. It's combined together as a faculty, so it has a department. So this is the facilities that they have there, with classroom, with a practice room, with all the possible dance room, and then it's also have a big performing hall, multi-purpose performing hall. Okay, so it's pretty nice compared to our music. Only have 3 floors. They have like 6th floor, and now they are building another one. They have like 7 floors as well. Okay, so the next day I will give a lecture. So this is the poster they make. This is on the second day that I have to start to work already. The first day, senang jalan sikit lah. So the second day is start to work. So my presentation is start on 4:30 p.m. I request, why can we start in the morning? And I'd say morning, semua student other class. So it's like if you want audience, you have to start late lah. So I wait for until 4:30 and then I go there to start the lecture. So the title of the topic is Art Songs by Malaysian-Chinese Composer, as I told you, is the second part of the presentation I'm going to present to you. Okay, so this is the where I start my lecture, and they have like a big screen there. I'm surprised. So this is the hall that they have. The multi-purpose hall is really is really huge. Like they say it can host about 1,000 students. So they say that perhaps there will be like 700 students to come to you. I say, oh, 700. They say 700 is nothing because you know China is like the population is so much, so many of them. So this is I think about 200 good because not all show up. Basically, it's from music and dance, and some of them from other disciplines as well, like philosophy or whatever. So there are some stuff as well, but after that they left lah. This is at the end of the presentation. Okay, after that day, after the presentation 4 o'clock, I finished about around 6 o'clock. I immediately transport to another place where I have to conduct a choir workshop. This choir workshop is an amateur choir where the senior citizens, they come together and they perform quite regularly. They are very enthusiastic about their singing because it's like a get together for them to like makan at the same time to learn arts as well. So I think this phenomenon is happening quite a lot in China because my student is doing a topic on that. In Loti, investigating these choirs because it's more than that. It's like just like 20, 30 choirs like this, you know. So this part is sponsored by, the one that sponsored is the Hunan, the morning, and the second part here is sponsored by the Loti Performing Arts Center lah. So I have to do all these things for them. So I conduct a workshop to listen to their voice blend and to teach them tone color and stuff like that. Basically, for Chinese singers like this old ladies, old men they are like very strong. They sing very like blasting sound or whatever. So it's like it's their tradition. Sings like you know is so emotional. But somehow I say you have to be toned down. You know sometimes don't sing too loud because music you must have control. You just don't just blast everything out. And this is something that I observed, pretty interesting, and followed by. So after that, one night I went back to the hotel to sleep. The next morning, immediately they give me another job. So I have to go to conduct another workshop, but this time is basically for singing, for individual singing, not for the choir. So I was brought to this theater that I didn't know where that is. They just brought me there. It's called Loti Cultural Performing Arts. I think, if you can see that, the small one there. So it also has a very big hall. So I'm speechless lah. Basically, this is a community hall, you know. It's like a community place where it's close by the sports and youth department. So they built the hall there, and it's quite nice lah, the hall overall. And surprisingly, they also have 2 grand pianos there. You know, we fight very hard to get 1 grand piano, but in this community hall, they have 2 grand piano, 1 baby grand and 1 big grand. So I say, do you have events here often? They say, yeah, they try to do it. So you can see that there's a piano there. So people are singing art songs there as well. So I was coaching them, I was giving them some ideas lah. So as you can see, it's the same thing here. On that is still in Lodi. After I finished that presentation in the morning, immediately they take me to another. Actually, I just let them organize whatever. So because they are the sponsor, you see. So I say, okay, after lunch, immediately we go to another town. It's called Xinhua. Xinhua is a town where it's like 2 hours drive. So I went there to Xinhua, and I also conduct another choir singing workshop with another group of people. So it's this one. So you can see this one is just in a hall. It's like a meeting room. It's not like a music hall. It's basically about 2 hours. So after that, one night rest there, because after 2 hours drive, doing things like Didola, okay, go back to the town and Xinhua and just have a good nap. The following day is a nice one. There, but it is a nice one, but also it's a very tiring one because we have to go up to the mountain. It's like they told me, let's go up to the mountain to do some field work. And I say, okay, let's go. Field work of what? Okay, you will. So I say, okay, but I say music related, not labor related. I don't want to go down there. So I went up there, and I also, I do not know the place. They call it Phang Kong Chien. So this is the mountain on Xinhua, and they say that there are some interesting mountain folk songs that need to be explored and need to be collected. So I say, yes, let's go up there. So when I'm up there, it's like they're having paddy as well. As you can see, the terrace paddy and all those things. So a day I spent there, very refreshing because that time is not so, that time is May, is not that hot yet. It's still very mild, it's very good temperature. So you can see here, so this is out of my hotel room that I can see is really like genting. I can see it's almost like genting that but the different kind of genting but with paddy field and with stuff like that is very nice. But the problem is the infrastructure is very bad because it's like the old genting that you have to drive all this in and out like that. So it's quite dangerous as well. I mean, if they can do the cable car, that would be good. But probably not for this town. So it's Xinhua. So eventually the big thing is we went to visit two important people there. So it's these senior citizens. They are Xinhua, they are the mountain people. One is 88 years old and one is 85 years old, I believe. They are siblings. So both of them actually are only a few of the remainers to know how to sing this folk song. So we go to interview them. Basically not me I mean my colleagues from the university, because I don't speak their language, because Xinhua language is different from Mandarin. So when they sing, it's also a little bit different. I don't really understand. So this is the things that we want to do and do cooperation with. We collect the data, but now I'm waiting for them to transcribe and also to figure out the words of all these things before we can look at it carefully, analyze it, and do a publication on that. So I talked to them, but it's coming very slow. They're transcribing very slow. That it's not with me yet at the moment. So I say, you guys be the main actor. I will be supporting because they are thinking to write it in English as well. So if I can contribute my part so that to publish it in Malaysia or in somewhere as well, that would be great. So these two people, 88 and 85 years old, can be gone anytime. So we collect some data from them. And the last day, so I went down from the mountain to Lodi, and to Lodi, after that I took a high-speed train back to Changsha. As you can see, it's like 290 km per hour. It's really fast, and this is not the fastest. When I took it, it's like sometimes they can reach out to 350. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just sit down and relax there. So compared to the way I come to the car ride from Changsha to Lodi, it takes about 1.5 hours. But for this one, it takes about 45 minutes only. So it's quite pleasant to go there. And after that, I bye-bye China, I went back to Malaysia. Okay, so that is my all my 5 days there. So rather interesting, but also a lot of work to do as well. So this is the first part of the presentation, and now I'm going to share with you the information I share with them in China. Because we have different audience here, so the presentation that I present to them might be a little bit boring to you, because I was aiming to promote Malaysia, to promote UITM, to get them come to Malaysia, because I know that a lot of the students, they have not even been out of China. Yeah, so I was like giving them a sense that what Malaysia, where Malaysia is, and all those things lah. So bear with me a little bit. I'll go very fast for the first few part of it. So that's my title when I was there. And the first thing is I introduce myself from UiTM, and UiTM has history where it's from Rita training, Mara College, and how UiTM transformed from an institute into now a big university that covers many parts of Malaysia. So, and I also tell them if you are doing, I'm from music, if you are doing other fields as well, if you want to come, please explore, because we have various campuses, Sabah, whatever, so might have something that is like interests you. So after that, I show them our main building there. Okay, and I tell them like undergrad students berapa orang, postgrad berapa orang, and we welcome international postgraduate like that lah. So it's like a promoter trying to get more students. But they are interested to know, because they don't know what's going on, you know. They don't even know where's UiTM. So I show them the university there, the overview of our university. Just give them some ideas lah. And after that, I show them the ranking, because they are very concerned about ranking when they go out to study. They want to know how our university is placed globally. And I think this is the old one. I didn't get the latest information. I think the latest one will be higher as well lah. So just drive our program lah, and then show them our, you have your concert hall, we also have our concert hall. we just built our concert hall. We say that we also have our concert hall. We have like this like that. Also after that, I say we are also doing something like Puccini or whatever, because Puccini they know about this opera and whatever. So at that time is in May. Immediately after the trip, when I come back, we are involved in this Puccini concert. So I'm also doing some promoting lah, so that they can come or whatever if they are around. Okay, here I show them what programs we have, how comprehensive we are as a university, offering programs from diploma until PhD level with various disciplines. As you can see, the masters as well. We have performance, we have education, we have research, and we have coursework. So basically, sorry, other fields I didn't promote. I just promote music only. So okay, so after that I show them briefly where Malaysia is. I tell them this is Malaysia, West Malaysia, East Malaysia, and then we are bordering to Indonesia, we are bordering to Thailand, Singapore, Philippines, to at least have to teach them, because they are like, some of them are really kids, they really have no idea what's going on in the world. So to tell them this is Malaysia, when you come, you can visit some of these places. And this one is more like an Asian, like the bigger one. Then I show them like our Malaysian map, particularly, places of interest where, go to Penang, go to Langkawi or whatever, all these things, and show them where UiTM is, where Shah Alam, and close to Putrajaya and all those things lah. Just like to introduce them to our beautiful country. So eventually, after I show them this modern map, I show them something that is ancient. That is the old, I would say, Malay Empire map. Is that right? Nusantara. Yes. So the map. So I say, before we have this modern map, actually we have this one. The reason why I'm showing them this one is I want to introduce them to Malacca Empire, because one of the important piece that I'm going to show them, share with them, is related to the empire, related to Princess Hang Li Bao. That's eventually people just appropriate this myth or so-called, or the fact or whatever, Zheng He, when they come to China, and during that period, this 15th century period. So I show them this is the old map where Malacca Empire exists, and then there's something we can trace back when we create art. We also using elements from that part. Okay. Then I focus on the overall of Malacca Empire. So just to tell them, you know, Paramaswara and all the things that we study during our young time or whatever. So, and particularly Sultan Mansur Shah, because that period is an important period where there's a lot of interaction with the world, and there's a lot of businesses going on. There's a lot of Arab people from all over the world, from China, from whatever, they mingle there. And then it's come up with the culture of this Papa Nyonya, then with the character like Hang Tuah and Hang Lipo and all those people. So then I give them a question, how, oh no, not this one. Okay, this one actually I even, after the empire, I tell them, eventually we have been colonized. We colonized by Portuguese, Dutch, and also the UK, the British as well. So this history, you know, has been so long. I think when I count it properly, it's about 400 plus years actually before our new Malaysia formed. So we have been colonized by a lot of foreign powers during that time before we form our new Malaysia that we enjoy today, 1957. So after 448 years being colonized, I would say. So and Sabah, Sarawak, and also give them a little bit history that Sabah, Sarawak and Singapore joined in as a Malaya, and eventually the separation of Singapore from Malaysia. So a little bit of historical background. So after that, I go into the musical part of it, and I question how bel canto actually come to Malaysia, come to Malaya instead. It's a singing style of the Western singing style. If people that do not know what bel canto is, basically it's an Italian word called beautiful singing, where you can hear all those, the people say like the soprano and all this thing, and then, you know, and also those demeanor that you deliver in opera houses, those are the bel canto way of singing. So when we trace it back and say, are we so lucky that the colonizer helped us to build bel canto? You know, I say the British people help us to ajar kita nyanyi macam itu ke? Are they really that nice? Because during that time when I was thinking how this happened, so when I trace back the history, actually it's a group of Wuhan choir. They come to Malaysia. That time is Malaya before the independence. Is during the Japanese-Sino War, during World War II, and then because of dire condition, they need to raise fund, and then they come to Southeast Asia and they perform and try to raise fund for the war. So this is the first incident I can see that bel canto is being presented in the old Malaya, the pre-independence Malaysia. So this is the choir that they came here during 1938. So this is the map where they performed. Actually, they performed more than 130 performances around Peninsula Malaysia. They didn't go to Sabah and Sarawak. They just go to Peninsula Malaysia here to perform. And it's about 2 years they perform here, and then about 89 cities they perform. They start from Singapore, and eventually they went to Kedah to perform. As I recall, some of the old composers, if they are still alive, I think they dead already, but like 20 years ago, when I talk to them, they do remember this event. And during the war event, people need some entertainment, and they go there to listen to them sing in all the fanfare, all the old theater and all those things they sing there. Okay, so now I would say, what are the things that our current Malaysian singing, you know? So as you can see here, now it's very diverse. We are so diverse that we sing the Western, we sing Mandarin, We sing English, and we also have Malay composed song. So, and then we also take a lot of songs from China, from Taiwan, and we also adopt a lot of songs from the Western as well. As you can see here in Malaysia, our students actually exposed to a lot of different kind of songs with different language. So we encourage them from the music people we know. They sing art songs from Italy, they sing from France, they sing from whatever. So they are the ones that's promoting this kind of diversity when it comes to the art song repertoire. Okay, so now go to the core, which is the Malaysian Chinese composer. For my main contribution during my study, I sort of like categorize this lineage of composition into two. One is the first generation composer. The old generation, I would call them, it consists of these four main pillars of composers that contributing to the art song in Malaysia. So Chen Luohan, Zheng Qingzhe, Xu Yanliang, Huang Zhenwen. So you see, three of them is already dead. The other one is in his 37, in his 90s almost. Is that right? 80s, 90s? Okay. So he's pretty old. 90s, yeah, he's still alive. He is, you know, the Huang, the female conductor last time? Oh, the father.
I see.
Yeah, Oi Chen Si, Chen Si, right? That's the father. So these are the old generation. Then I brought out one of the old piece that's written in 1971, and this probably is the first bel canto piece that produced by a local Chinese composer. It's Hang Li Po. So just share partially the music for you, perhaps. It's not too much. This is a staging in the 90s where they did, can you hear that? It's still very rough, the performance and the style. Okay, we'll probably move forward. Okay, we skip that. Perhaps I want you to see the composer. How to direct. Yeah, this is some of the backstage. I don't know how authentic all the baju is lah. I think they just simply, you know. Okay, let's move on. Yes?
Is it okay my questions?
Sure.
Well, the one that you showed just now actually was held where?
It is by in the 90s.
The 90s somewhere, you know,
In KL. In KL, I think it's in the Sanchun Litang, the MCA hall. Yeah. In KL, MCA hall.
how did you manage to get the footages?
Minta lah.
Luckily they still have footages, you know.
Huh?
Luckily they still have the footages.
Yeah, lo, have to cari lo. That's why we go to.
Myself because I didn't expect that. Oh, this is actually quite interesting because
Yeah.
they use like Malay.
Yeah.
Untuk question the authenticity.
Yeah.
Tapi at least, ada this performance.
Yeah.
Hang Li Po.
Actually, this one is 1990 something, 1992 or something. The initial one is 1973, the first one, which only have audio. I also have that version. I don't have because they can the visual tak ada mah, just audio ada. But that one lebih sedap. Because that one is almost like the you know P. Ramlee, that kind of things. Because they use chamber music. For this one, they just use the piano as accompaniment. That time they have the chamber supporting it. That one in the 70s, I have the audio.
You have to explain what is chamber.
Chamber is a few instruments that put together, like violin, violin, cello, viola. You know, it's not a big one, but at least about 10 players they put together. Yeah, so it's not, just now that one is by piano, you can hear, so it's not that interesting. Okay, so after that, the piece that in Hang Li Po, because after writing my PhD, I feel like it's so boring because it's just writing tak ada bunyi, you know. It's like, so eventually I get a grant to record some of the songs that I discussed in my thesis. So this is one of the piece that I sang. Is in Hang Li Po. Hold on. Because I present this in China, so I just give them all the Chinese text, so they are very happy to know what is it about. So okay. Basically, this song is an aria. Let me have the translation because. Okay, let me have a translation here. Basically, this song is an aria. It's sung by the king to Hang Li Po. So basically, they are in the garden. They are seeing each other very nicely, trying to make up or whatever. So when they sing this song, this song is the Chinese title is 带我走进一片歌声. So the translation will be like, when the breeze blows gently at the soft flowing hair, your gaze appears hopeful as if the clear blue crystal water. When the sunlight kisses on your rosy cheek, your dimples reveal as if the beautiful floating clouds in the spring. Clear and revealed is the rejuvenated sensation. Beautiful and charming is the newborn love. May you avail your presence to the garden. I will carry you to the presence of my song. My song wipes away the uncertainty that you face. I am together with you heading to a life of happiness. If you may accept the heart that I offer to you, you and I drift along in the melodious tides of song. So it's a very this kind of song when you butcher, it's like, oh my god, it's like, why so drama one? So it's like just say it's beautiful lah. No need to poetic like that. So but somehow it's poetic like this. That's why we are music people. So just play for you a little bit this aria. It's considered one of the earliest aria and it's quite difficult to sing as well. So just listen a little bit, perhaps. This is me singing, not AI.
Great.
Romantic. Yeah, all this drama thing. After you listen to it, you feel like, okay, but that's the music can do to us lah. Okay, let me share with you another song. This is a simpler song. It's by another composer. All the songs are contributed by the first generation of composer. If you can hear it, it's basically the harmony is, it's old-fashioned, it's not that interesting, and also how they use the piano is rather conventional. It's not like really creating another dimension of emotion. Basically, the melody is supported by the piano only. They are not giving another dimension of it, and this is also one of it. And the reason I'm picking up this song is the title is Maria. Okay. Yeah, this is very kampong-like, because if you this is the Chinese words there, but if you listen to the translation, it's basically very Melayu or very Nanyang kind of feel. So it say, Maria, the house is situated under coconut tree in the kampong. So we know like coconut tree represent here in Malaysia, right? We have a lot of that in the kampong as well. Here the words we have, even the translation kampang is kampong. So the Chinese word as well. So it's like they try to use some of the elements here. Aged 18 and yet unmarried. Betul tak? Our culture married very awal kan? Okay, 18 belum kahwin lagi. Di kampung tak boleh. Okay, so that's what they say. And Maria, and wearing a hibiscus by the ear side. So we know that the hibiscus is our national flower, ma. So this is also reflect the Malayness of it. And black silky hair. Is always there to show. Maria, every day is hanging out under the coconut tree. Young fella, why don't you go to target deer? So like, why don't you go and kacau deer or whatever? So this is a very simple, I would say that very, very nice song for kanak-kanak as well. It's one of the children's song, I would say that is represent one of the earliest art song, but accompanied by piano lah. Boleh tak? Sudah jam oh. Oh. Maria, show yourself. Oh, it's jam oh. Okay, so.
For example, if you escape
Sangkut
from
tak apa
the
lah.
slide, maybe.
Escape again.
Say for example, escape, boleh tak? Just keluar from here, from the slideshow. Try play from there. Is it okay?
Okay. Boleh oh. Okay, just a little bit So it's a very short, simple, like kanak-kanak bunyi lagu. Da di da di da 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 da.
Maria
Okay, basically this is thank you. Basically this song is in my memory for so long, and then when I first want to look into it, that is the motivation for me to look for all these songs when I'm in university. I say, where are all the songs that I listened to last time? Because I remember in school, I think someone sang this song before. And it was like, I feel like that time I don't have the score, so after that I tried to look for it. Eventually it come up with this. Okay, so now let's go faster because I'm also, everyone is a little bit. Okay, so this is the tonality of the old generation. You can tell their rigidness of using expressive harmony when it's come to expression. So now I would love to jump into the 20th century where the youngsters, what are they writing for the Chinese composer? Because this one, the old one, I still have a few examples, but I think it's quite boring. So if you want, you come and I show you. But the new one is more interesting. Okay, so here I investigate these three composers, which is basically in their early 50s or late 40s. So these three composers, and let me just, tak boleh ah? Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah. So we have Liang Xuexian, we have Tazo belum. Ini kawan Pai Tazo you tahu? Mereka in the contemporary composing one. This one is a very close friend of Tazo. Yeah, Huang Ziwei. Yeah, this one, right? Ini, right? It is about, yeah, a little bit like Tazo. You remind me. Okay, so these three composers are the one that I look into. So I think we look into one Malay setting that is quite interesting. Okay, we look at this, we listen to this song, and then after that we talk about it. So the one that look like Tazo, dia tulis lah ini, dia buat lagu ini. So Usman Awang, dia buat lagu. Don't listen to it at night, Okay, so this is one of it, and then this song actually other three sets is regarding patriotism for the country lah. So another one, the second one is Pahlawan. This one using the Javanese punya scale. Again, the scale. Okay, let's listen to the last song because it is a group, it's a song cycle with three songs together. And now this is Merdeka. Okay, so basically, oh sorry, if you can just very common sense, like we listen to the first generation and the second generation, of course it's a big difference, right? You can hear that the first generation is very conservative and writing in a very formed pattern, but all these new composers, they are throwing out some of the rules and trying to just bring out the sonic part of it, and also try to have a lot of unpredictability in their writing because they have so many tools right now. Because for the old generations, basically they are not overseas trained. They are basically Malaysian, they are self-learned, and during that time, you know lah, our 80s, 70s, like mana ada duit keluar belajar, right? So it's like basically they learn it from listening, they self-learn, they baca, and then they even try to do the notes themselves. So all these new ones, actually they are overseas trained, and they come back with this kind of attitude and writing pieces like that, and also like Tazo. Okay, so to finish this presentation, I would also like to show you an English song written by the Chinese composer Huang Ziyuan. Yeah, just the last one here. This is a very sensuous piece. If you look at the text, it's very hamsap one. Okay, don't play again. Okay, yeah, again. No. how to stop you. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, if we look at this song, this is the text is by Emmeline Dickinson. It's one of the important lady poet during the late 19th century, so before 20th century. So at that time the ladies perempuan tulis poem like this actually is very brave, because it expressed so much sexual desire and the liberation of being loved. Here is so graphic here when you say, you know, you are in thee, we are like, we done, we finished our job and whatever. So it's quite amazing at the moment. So we see now composers in the modern age so powerful they can use whatever literature that's available for them to fulfill their imagination in composition, and also to express certain sound that is beyond the industry pop sonority. Okay, thank you very much. Give art songs a little bit of chance to listen to it. You will feel something different. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Phang. So is there any questions from the floor? I have a question, Dr. Phang.
Yeah.
So in essence, what does it mean by art songs? Can you like, in a way, explain?
Art songs basically, it's if we trace back the history, we always use poetry. There's poetry that is, you know, it's not like the common I love you, you love me, saya cinta, saya sakit hati, not like that. So it's like, so they use poetic, they use, you know, yeah, poesy, they use like that. And eventually, a good art song will try to combine the emotion that reflect by the poesy. And of course, with when we say art song, is usually accompanied by piano as well. So it's rather technical in a way that we sing it live. We do not record it, like we do not fine-tune our things. That is what we are doing for the art song. So it traces back the history to the Romantic period. It even traces back to Mozart, even traces back to Schubert and Schumann.
So for this one, because I saw when I listened to the, I'm not good with music,
Okay. Okay.
But when I listen to the music, the background music,
The background music.
that accompanied the
Yeah, right.
or the poetry,
Right.
it has its own characteristics.
Yeah.
How the composer or the music maker actually create
Right.
the, how to say, the beat or the
right.
accompany the lyrics or the poetry.
Yes, very good observation. That's why now the modern composers, they always use the accompaniment, not just accompanied the melody. They use it beyond that. They used it to express certain the extra emotion, things that perhaps the text cannot express. So when you listen to it, dun, 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 it's perhaps like they are going out to hang out, you know. It's like they're going to the wild night. It's like the heart is beating. So they give you this kind of emotion rather than just give you a nice introduction. So that kind of chord just now that when we listen to is projecting the night, and is also the atmosphere as well. So it's like very quiet, then it's using a very low tessitura, low range for the piano. You never really play at the high notes, but really playing like mysteriously, because it's a night. They are going to have an affair.
So basically, it is actually composed, not impromptu. Like
no, it's composed.
It's the interpretation of the composer actually. So not everyone can actually do this kind of music actually.
Yeah, it's composed note by note. Dia tulis dalam score. Ini bukan impromptu and main. It's not jazz. So jazz, you can do impromptu thing, but this is really fine rehearsed and fine study before we can perform it, because it's too complicated. And we cannot sing one wrong note. If you sing wrong notes, there will be like a big mistake. Yeah, we cannot tahan, things like that.
Okay, is there more questions from the floor? If before we end the session?
It's just 9 before 5 right now? Oh, 4:30, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Phang.
Oh, thank you very much.
Now we have come to the end of our first sharing session. Actually, we have more, series number 2 in the future. So, on behalf of Pejabat Pendidikan University, College of Creative Arts, and also CMTHub, we would like to say thank you very much to our respected guests, Professor Dr. Kipli, and also Mr. Encik Walid, and also Dr. Phang for being here. Hence, I would like to extend also heartfelt thanks to all attendees who are present here. We hope to see you again in the upcoming second session. Before you leave, we invite our honored guests and also the audience members to enjoy some refreshments available on your right side at the corner of this room. Thank you very much. And we would like to take some photos with our speakers and the audience as well, or the speakers? With the speakers, yes. Okay. Very much.